Hey guys, today we're going to make the Wynn swing set from Retro Sparkle Designs. Let's get started. For the top, you're going to need one front and one back, and one ruffle if you're doing the ruffle, and sleeves and a neckband. For the bottoms, you're going to need the two ruffles, an elastic, and the front and back shorts pieces. Again, we're doing the ruffles, so you've got ruffle pieces showing here. First, we're going to start off with our top. We're going to take our front and our back top pieces and put them on top of each other, right sides facing, and then you're going to go ahead and sew down the shoulder seams, just like so. Now that I've done that, I'm going to open up my top and I'm going to take my sleeves and I'm going to line up the middle of that sleeve with the middle shoulder seam, and then each end with the underarm end pieces. Clip evenly, and then you're going to go ahead and sew around the curve for each sleeve to attach them to your top. Now that my sleeves are attached, I'm going to go ahead and flip my top onto itself and line up my sides and my sleeve side seams just like so. Go ahead and clip, making sure to match up that sleeve underarm seam, and then you're going to go ahead and sew down the side seam for each sleeve and side of your top, just like so. Now that we've done that, we can go ahead and work on our neckband. So I'm going to go ahead and take my neckband and fold it in half, right sides together, and sew down that side. Now that I've done that, I'm going to take my neckband, I'm going to flip it onto itself, wrong sides together, right sides will be facing out to make a band. And then I'm going to go ahead and clip a quarter of the way around just so that I can match it up evenly with my top. So I'm clipping the side seams like that. I'm going to take that one seam and put it to the back and slip my neckband inside the neck opening of my top, facing the right side of the top, clip around evenly, and then when you are satisfied with your spacing, go ahead and sew around in a circle to attach your neckband. Now that we've attached our neckband, that's what it'll look like, and it's time to hem our sleeves. So go ahead and fold under the sleeves by 1/2 inch, and then you will go ahead and hem around in a circle. You can use your cover stitch, you can also use a regular machine doing a zigzag, or you can use a double needle. Do the same for both sleeves. That's what my hem will look like. Now, if you were not doing a ruffle, you would go ahead and hem your top, but we are doing the ruffle. So I'm going to take my top ruffle. There are 3 pieces. I'm going to go ahead and sew those 3 pieces together end to end. So here I am taking my first piece and my second piece and lining them up right sides together. I'm going to sew one end to attach and make one long piece. Then I'm going to do the same with that remaining ruffle. I'm going to put it right sides together with my long piece and sew the other side seam, making one long continuous ruffle. Once I've done that, I'm going to go ahead and take the whole thing, make sure that it does not get twisted. You're going to put the other open ends right sides together and sew the 2 ends together. You will end up with one giant circle. As you can see here, I have my 3 long ruffle pieces attached. I'm going to go ahead and fold under 1/2 inch, and I'm going to hem my ruffle. This is optional, but I just prefer to hem. So here it is hemmed. Next, you're going to gather the entire ruffle all the way up. Now that I've done that, I'm going to take my ruffle and I'm going to line up that gathered edge with the raw bottom edge of my top. My right sides of my ruffle are facing the right sides of my top. Take your time, make sure everything is spaced evenly. This actually is quite a long clip. I sped it up quite a bit, so obviously I do not go this fast. But just make sure everything is even, and then you're going to go ahead and sew around in a circle to attach. That is what your top is going to look like, and now we're going to go ahead and work on our shorts. So to start, take your short pieces and put them right sides together and sew down the front and the back crotch curves, just like so. Next, you're going to open up your shorts and you're going to go ahead and sew the inseam together, lining up the crotch seams from front and back. Here I'm just going to make a quick sew right there. Next, we're going to work on our ruffles. If you're not doing ruffles, you can skip, but I folded my ruffles in half, right sides together, and sew down. So next I'm going to fold under a 1/2 inch and I'm going to hem my ruffles. This is optional. I just prefer to hem because I feel like it looks a lot cleaner, but you obviously do not need to if you don't want to. So go ahead and hem in a circle. That's what my hemmed ruffles will look like. And next I'm going to go ahead and gather my ruffles to match the width of the bottom of my shorts. Take those ruffle pieces and clip them around right sides together to the legs of each shorts, lining up that gathered edge with the bottom raw edge of your short pieces, just like so. Once you have them exactly the way you want, you're going to go ahead and sew around in a circle to attach the ruffles. This is what my ruffles look like. Now we're going to go ahead and work on a casing. I'm going to fold under the top waist area of my shorts about 1.5 inches. Clip around, and then you're going to go ahead and sew a casing. So you're going to want to do a straight stitch or a zigzag stitch all the way around. Make sure to leave a gap at the back to insert your elastic. I like to make a mark on my elastic so that when I have threaded it all the way around, my marks will match up and I know that my elastic is not twisted. Use a safety pin and thread your elastic through your casing all the way around until you come out the opening on the other side. Again, make sure that your elastic does not get twisted. And then you're going to go ahead and match up the ends. And you're going to go ahead and sew together your elastic using a zigzag stitch on your regular machine, like so. Then you're going to go ahead and pop your elastic into your casing. Give it a good stretch and make sure that your elastic is not twisted and that it is even. And then once you have it the way you want it, go ahead and do a stitch to close your gap that you left right there. And that is what my casing looks like now that it is closed and our shorts are complete. And so we have finished our Wynn shorts and our Wynn swing top. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Be sure to follow along for more.